Welcome, everybody, to episode 12 of Smack Talk here at smarkoutmoment.com. I am your host, as always, Tony Mango. With me today, Braden Mayhew, Michael Burhan. Chris Dace is not with us today, but he shall be here later on in the week. I have something planned for about Wednesday or so stay tuned for that. But other than that, how's it going, guys?
Pretty well. This week, in my opinion, is a lot better than last week in terms of wrestling, so that should be a plus, definitely.
A very more enjoyable episode of
For
Raw,
sure.
But I tended to actually fall asleep in parts of it, so I don't know if I missed some of the bad things.
You fall asleep in parts of everything, Tony.
I mentally fall asleep in some things, but this was a literally falling asleep kind of thing. I've been getting no sleep at all for the past few days, so, you know.
It's the constant sex he's been having.
It's a little bit. I don't know. I need to build up a resistance. So what we have on the table today, not a whole lot considering this is the Royal Rumble week coming up, and we are going to have, first things first, what I'm talking about for Wednesday, we will have a big prediction thing going on for statistics and records and little bits and pieces of the Royal Rumble. There's going to be predictions of, obviously, the winner, the Iron Man, the most eliminations, the fastest elimination, and then we're actually going to try something that I've done a couple times in the past where we are going to try to break down every single entrant in a prediction. I don't think there's really anything on the line here for like betting wise, whoever gets what, but we'll figure something out. So check that out coming up pretty soon, and that's going to be one of the main reasons why this is a kind of short episode for this episode 12 right here. Not a whole lot going on this week, but another thing I want to kind of point out is if you can and you're interested in a tournament of the hottest and the sexiest divas, I'm going to be doing that pretty soon on smarkoutmoment.com. So right now I have a list up of all of the divas from WWE history and all of the knockouts from TNA history that I could think of and I can find online. This does not count Hervina and Santina.
Damn it!
But I don't know if I'm forgetting any. So if anybody's interested, check that list out and let me know if I'm forgetting any of them, and then I'll start breaking the tournament down and get the brackets all set up, and then we can start voting. It's going to be two different sections, one of my votes, one of everybody else's votes. So check that out soon. And other than that, let's get right into the Ask Him of the week. What do you got for me?
Sure, no worries. By the way, my number one pick for the diva / knockout, Nicole Bass.
That's going to be one prediction I can make that everybody will end up voting her as a no in her first round. Her and I'm assuming Karma.
Oh, you should see her in a thong. Yeah.
You know what? That's what I should do. If I can, I'll try to mix those two together and have them face each other for the first round. Make people have to choose.
Is it Karma or is it Bass? Make that choice. Okay, this week's Ask Him, pretty simple. It's another WWE one because I know you don't like going outside of the WWE.
Yeah, I don't like getting these wrong.
So, right. Basically, it's a she.
Cole Bass.
And she's had 2 stints in the WWE.
Gail Kim?
One where she's actually taken her clothes off. And she's had an affiliation with a former WWE / WCW superstar. And is currently married to a WWE superstar. Who is she?
Sable?
Yes!
Good.
Oh my god!
When you said take the clothes off, the first thing that ran in my mind was the cat. Then it was just like, wait a minute. And I remember handprints.
Saying that, the cat is actually married to a former WWE superstar as well, so it could have been.
Is she officially Mrs. Lesnar now, or does she keep her original last name? I never understood that.
I think she is Mrs. Lesnar, but
That's what I thought.
She's
had his baby and everything as well. Apparently,
they have kids, right, or at least one. I don't know much, but
2 together, I believe.
Well, I don't know. She's Rena Mero as far as I'm concerned. Which I'm thinking that Mark Mero probably doesn't like.
Well, he's like, come on, right? The guy literally lived off of her after he couldn't even get his career going.
Yep.
So, you know.
So let's go into the hot tags of the week. And for those who didn't see last week, I hate you, but the way that the hot tags work is we try to take a couple little topics, and instead of rambling about it, we just get right to the point. We have 30 seconds each to say exactly what we feel about it, and that is it, and then we get cut off. So I'm going to start this off with Liam Neeson was approached to play Vince McMahon, and he says no. My thoughts on it: I don't think that he would be the best person for the role. I would be interested if he tried it because Liam Neeson's a really good actor and everything like that. But as far as I'm concerned, good for Neeson, and they could do better. He says he
He's
doesn't know a
Irish,
lot
isn't
about
he?
it, and he doesn't really like it. So if he's not going to be into it, he's probably going to half-ass it. And the Benoit movie is going to suck anyway. So I'm not really looking forward to somebody playing McMahon that isn't going to actually get really into the McMahon character. Mike?
I wouldn't touch that Benoit movie with a freaking 4-inch pole, let alone basically have someone with the quality of Liam Neeson actually do that movie. The funny thing is, they're going to be shopping it around to as many stars as they can, but they'll probably end up with some made for TV people.
Right.
Just like popped on this film, and this film's going to be quietly released and then chucked down the freaking toilet. Because literally, I am literally surprised that the WWE hasn't actually filed a copyright claim because they
Time's up.
can't. Do that.
All right, Braden.
Uh, well, for Liam Neeson, really, he basically, he kind of has like the same tone, same kind of facial expressions throughout all his movies. He's really not really the type of person who'd be able to play Vince McMahon anyway. Are they even going to get somebody who can play McMahon totally? It's kind of a head scratcher. The whole movie sounds like it's going to bomb big time. So any actor would be smart staying away from it, saying no, it's probably going to suck pretty
Right.
well.
All right, that's number one out of the hot tags. So let's start with the next one here is bragging rights may be moved to the TLC spot, and Fatal 4-Way may be replacing capital punishment. My thoughts on it: I don't like it at all. I love how bragging rights is back, but it needs to stay as far away from Survivor Series as possible. And I don't like TLC being on it, so I'm fine with them replacing that. But you don't replace it on the pay-per-view schedule with Fatal 4-Way. You replace it with something not gimmicky and throw it in there somewhere else. You need a buffer between Survivor Series and Royal Rumble that isn't a gimmick thing, not bragging rights. Mike?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Basically, they had too many gimmick pay-per-views. And in regards to bragging rights, it needs to be as far away because it's literally the same type of pay-per-view as Survivor Series in a way, because you have the team-on-team elimination thing going on there. What I would do is second guess the whole Fatal 4-Way thing. It's not a great concept for a pay-per-view.
All right, and Braden?
I don't like it at all. I was actually a fan of the TLC show in December, so that's very disappointing to me that it got replaced. Bragging rights coming back is fine. I have no problem with that. I don't like the placing where it's at in the year. And Fatal 4-Way, it was a bomb in 2010. It's going to bomb in 2012. Why couldn't they bring back King of the Ring? That seemed like, just
Yes.
hold the tournament, do that in the spring, get a push out of it or something. That seemed like it would have been more beneficial to the roster.
All right, and the third hot tag: Triple H and HBK are expected to induct the Four Horsemen together. Uh, I only have one thing to say. I don't need 30 seconds for this. Fucking Flair should induct them. He doesn't need to be in again. It doesn't make sense for DX to induct them when Flair is there. Mike?
I agree with you 110%. Flair should be inducting the Horseman. Why the fuck is Flair getting a second Hall of Fame ring? I've said this last week, I'll say it again. There is no point to this. They should have just literally had him induct the Horseman and be done with it.
Braden?
Totally 100 and billion% agree with both of you. Like, that's pretty insulting to any other wrestler, no matter how low on the card they were that got inducted. It's like, ooh, Flair's this, this huge top name that we respect so much, even though he went to like our competition. Well, not really, but this guy who left them is now getting a second Hall of Fame ring. Isn't that a slap to the face that of most people that are in the company or have been in the Hall of Fame? Doesn't make much sense. Flair should have been the inductor, but I have no problem with DX doing the induction ceremony.
All right, so there's the hot tags of the week, and we're going to go into part two of the possibly three parts of this. with a little bit some messed up stuff. We got some former WWE people that aren't necessarily in the Hall of Fame in China and Marty Jannetty going on some Twitter tirades and making asses of themselves. So that'll be very fun to talk
Big
about.
shock.
China's going anal, pun intended.
So check out part 2 coming up.